Okay, so I need to finish this video on my experience with the wild thot. But I just got caught up recently watching a lot of Karen Straughn. This woman right here, she's wonderful. A lot of her videos, I've been caught up in watching those. So yeah, she's just great, man. If you're anything at all in the manosphere as far as like MGTOW, Red Pill, whatever, go follow her stuff. Some of the stuff she writes is brilliant. I just finished watching the entire video of what she did with, her response to Jordan Peterson is, when he was responding to MGTOW men or men who were walking away from women, and he's calling them pathetic weasels, and he's calling them selfish. Oh God, he got that so wrong. I'm still torn on Jordan Peterson, how I feel about him ultimately, but I think he's good for some men. I think he's maybe helpful for younger men who need a kick in the rear. But for a lot of us who just who are self-starters, who are men who don't need that type of motivation, he's kind of a heel, because he's just so traditionalistic, in the sense that men need to be strong, stoic providers, and it's just some of the stuff he says is just so fucked up and bullshitty. And he of course, he equates men, or he first of all, everything he says is like, it's egalitarian, it's idealistic. He's very into idealism. He's not into realism. I tend to be idealistic by nature, but my idealism is sort of filtered through my own worldview. So I have idealistic world views that are not that are not necessarily traditional idealistic. So he's traditionally idealism, where the man is the strong provider and the self-sacrificer and for the betterment of humanity. And it's just such bullshit. And Karen Straughn totally blows him out of the water as far as his stance on MGTOW and men walking away from. Oh my God, it's such a good video. So if you got a chance, go look up Karen Straughn's response to Jordan Peterson. So good. Anyway, I got to talk about this wild thot. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it, particularly now in this coronavirus panic, was because it's interesting to note, how women are going to, how women would hypothetically respond, and how maybe they are in some places responding to pandemics, to a society that would remove men as utility. If men were removed from society and women couldn't use men, right, it'd be interesting to see how women respond to this, a society like that, particularly a society that, food shortages, people couldn't pay rent, people couldn't go outside, or it's so interesting to see the dynamic, how this is affecting women, because they are such, they're so linked to the system. They're so reliant on the system, particularly maleship, right? Particularly how men, give them benefits. And I could write a whole book on that. I mean, just the fact that they're so their very existence is so linked to our helping them, and our giving them attention, our giving them money, our validating them. I mean, it's ironic, because women, and particularly feminists, they just have no idea how much they actually rely on us. For all the things that they need emotionally, intrinsically and, outwardly. So what I've heard and what I've seen a little bit is that, some women are putting themselves out there in a sexual way, putting themselves out there in a way that, they're scared, that, they don't know if they're going to be able to pay rent. They don't know if they're going to be able to get food. If there's food shortages, if there's a problem with landlords and mortgages and shit like that, women are going to go straight to hooking, So there's this old meme, I forget exactly what it was, but something along the lines of like, you know, what women are going to do in a socialist society, and it's exactly what they're doing now or something like that, which is that they're going to be out hooking, they're going to be selling themselves, selling their bodies, and that's what women fundamentally do in hypergamy. That's all hypergamy is it's just prostitution. When you fundamentally break it down, it's just prostitution. So it's interesting to note that, you know, in such a time when a pandemic scare, there's women out there who are putting themselves out there scary. So how that relates to my thot story is this. I was online, I was on Facebook, and I added this woman, and I was looking at her pictures, and she said something about money. I forget. She had a status or she was like, oh man, it was such a brash status, and it was talking about how like, oh, why are men worried about money? Woo, woo, woo. You know, I make this, and that. And the only thing I said, and I'll say this just about verbatim, I said, what do you do for work? Or no, pardon me. I said, how do you make money? And I was talking about her. How do you make money? That's the exact words that I used. Nothing more, nothing less. How do you make money? She inboxed me, and she gave me some scam. Oh, I'll need your bank account. No. And I just laughed at her. I just said, LOL, and I sent her like a funny meme, laughing at her like, you're retarded if you think I'm gonna give you my bank account. Like you're crazy. And then she hits me back and she starts calling me all these names. You're a pervert, and you're broke, and you're begging me. She started saying I was begging her, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't beg you at all. All I said was, how do you make money? How do you make money? Like, I'm just curious because you were saying she had this brash status where she was talking down on men or something like that. And she's like, no, you were begging me for money and woo and all this stuff. And I was just like, wow, you are crazy. And so I said, look, lady, you're mentally ill. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm never begging you for nothing. I just asked you a question. How do you make money? And she was an internet scammer. And I've ran into these guys before, guys and girls. They're there on Facebook, but they don't last for long. It doesn't seem like they last for long. But she was an internet scammer, and she started calling me all these names and this, that, and the third. And finally, she ended up blocking me. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like she's in a panic mode, and it must be because, and I saw in some of her pictures she had kids. Must be because of the coronavirus.